Oh, so there's this amazing gift going around, the Bron Jame. I know you all have seen it. And here, and I'm going to do a breakdown on it. So, here, as we can see in the very first frame, we have the Bron Jame right here, and he's watching what looks like possibly the news. Could be something else. He has a small ball right here, and yeah, fireplace, whatever. That stuff doesn't matter. And so we move on to the next frame, and boom, we can see his left foot starts to move forward, and his right hand with the ball starts to move back, as if he's going into a new forward motion. And the TV has stayed the same. The light, I forgot to mention the light. The light it's not a very big light radius, and you can see most of the light is actually coming from over here at what I can only presume to be a window. So, we continue on to the third frame, and boom, now he's in the 8 o'clock position. His arm is almost fully back, and he still has the ball with him. And he's starting to lean forward a little bit to counteract the weight of his arm. And now it's back, boom, 10 o'clock position. So, nothing has really happened. You can still barely see the ball here, but it's completely, he's doing, well, whatever. Now he's coming up, and he's almost to the top, and boom, we see he hits that 12 o'clock position. Now, we can't see the ball, but context clues would lead us to believe the ball is right around here, where the Bron Jame is. Well, not this, the Bron Jame, the caption, the Bron Jame. So we move on, and oh, it's coming down, but we still can't see the ball. We can only see, and since this is just a frame, obviously his movement is quicker than 1 frame per second. So his arm kind of looks like it's getting skinny, but that's just an optical illusion from the camera. That just happens. Nothing has happened on the TV at all. It's basically the exact same. So we move on to the 8th frame, and boom, he's back here, and we can see the ball here. It's still here. It looks kind of wonky, and his arm here, and you can tell from the shadow that his arm is still here. It hasn't been detached, and he's still leaning forward a little bit, which could cause him to fall over, which is why he spread out his legs here. He had it like that up until about right here, yeah, up until right here in this frame. His legs are a little spread out, so he has a bigger plant, so he can easily just he won't fall over. So he comes down, and we can see right here his arm is extending here, and what? He throws the ball. The ball is about right here, and he is not holding it. He has thrown the ball. And I don't know what's gonna come up next. And so the Bron Jame, his arm comes back, and it's going to keep coming back, but we can see his leg moved backwards a little bit. This is likely to counteract the weight of shifting back as he watches the ball. And the ball is still moving downward. It's about to hit the floor right here, the wood paneling, or maybe the carpet. It's a little difficult to tell where it's going to land, but it's looking like it'll likely land on the wood paneling. So we move on to the next frame, and so in between these two frames, the ball goes up, which makes it, we can likely believe that it hit the ground and is bouncing back up. And his arm has moved back a bit from the recoil of doing his whole spin move that he did earlier. And now, what is going to happen? Are you going to catch it with his other arm? I'm not sure. So let's continue. And whoa, that's a little more recoil than you would think. And it's looking like he's almost going to come back up like the same motion he did earlier. And you can see the ball is still rising. It's still rising, which means it likely hit the hardwood floor, as if it hit the carpet, it wouldn't bounce that high. And if it hit both, it would bounce to the side near the TV. So his arm is almost completely behind him, and he's looking, and you can tell he's concentrating. He's coming back up now, and the ball is getting super high, almost to his chin. It's almost to his chin. How is he going to get this ball? His left arm has not even moved at all. There's no way he can catch the ball with his left arm. I don't know what he's going to do, but oh, the next frame. The ball's starting to bounce, and it's looking like he might catch it with this arm. And he comes down, and boom, it's looking like the ball's going to fall right into his hand. like that, and he's back at standing straight up because he doesn't need to weigh anymore. He's catching a ball. He's not throwing a ball. He's catching a ball. It doesn't use any weight. It's just his arm. So he's back standing straight up, legs together, and it's looking like the ball's about to hit his arm. And so we move on, and yeah, it looks like in between frames he caught the ball, and now it is about at chest like that, about his stomach, and he's going to come down with it. What is he going to do next? Only God will tell, because now God shows that he's coming back down to his pants. In the next frame, he's going back into his spin, back into that rotation that he has been known to do in both throwing and catching the ball. And so he's sitting here. Still, nothing has happened on the TV. Look at that. She hasn't changed at all. I don't know. The camera has changed, which may make it look like she's changed, but it looks like it's almost a frozen image on here. Nothing has changed on the TV in 18 frames. So we move on to 19, and it's still straight back, and we can presume the ball is right about here, but we can't be for sure. It's possible it slipped out of his hand. So 20, and we can see the ball again. We can tell by the difference in the color. It's right in the corner, and so he still has the ball, which is great hope, and it's coming up. It's looking like maybe he'll throw it again. It's very possible that he throws it again. And we come up, and nothing has changed here. It's at the 12 o'clock position, and nothing has changed. And boom! Like, watch that. Boom! It looks like he's about to throw it, like similarly to what he did earlier in the GIF. So, it's looking like he's about to throw it again. And let's see. And boom, yeah, we can see it right here. About right here is when he would have released it. Right about here. His arm keeps going down, and now the ball's going to fall. But it's weird. The ball is heading like this. So, you won't be able to see it. But I am a ball connoisseur. I'm also a GIF connoisseur, which is why I know so much about this and why I decided to do a breakdown, frame-by-frame analysis. So, we can see the ball here. You can't tell by its spin rate or anything because of the limitations of the camera it's being captured on. But when he throws it, we can only presume it's going to do the same arc it did before. So it's going to hit the ground, it's going to spin, and it's going to come back up. But when you throw something like that, you may realize it's just going to keep going straight. There's no way he'll get it unless he puts a special spin on it. If you use the tips of your fingers to put a spin as you throw it, the ball will spin back at him, which is likely what he's doing in this situation. So we come here, ball is about to hit the ground. His arm is straight down, and it's looking like he may not catch this one. It's coming up. He's coming up with it. Oh. Maybe he will catch it. He's about at the 11:30 position. And, this is going to be a tough grab for him. You can see his arm up here. It's looking like the ball is going to jump up. So, it was right to presume that with that throw, he did put a little bit of spin. Not too much or else it would have hit his legs. But a little bit of spin lets it bounce up and back at him. So come back and boom, he barely catches it. You can see it's on his fingertips right there. You can see his fingertips stop about right here. He catches it with his fingertips. And he also had to lean out a bit. See, he has to lean out. Look at that. Straight, boom. He has to lean out to be able to catch it. So it was not a clean throw in any means. He had to lean forward to grab it, and still he barely grabbed it. And so I think this would be a good D plus maybe for performance on catching this ball. He caught it, so it's not an F. But a D plus. He had to lean forward. He barely got it. It wasn't a good throw, a good spin. But this is why I love the Bron Jame. He's not a perfect human. He makes mistakes, and I think all people who are trying to compete with this man should make mistakes. The reason he's one of the best at what he does is because he makes mistakes, which is why I love the Bron Jame. So we move on, and boom, he catches again, and he goes into the same old. I'm gonna skip a few frames, and boom, his knee pops up. I don't know if you saw that, but his knee pops up as if maybe he's gonna do something different this time. And the camera also pans over here, so you can see this cranny over here, and nothing has happened on the TV either. So we keep watching. He throws it, and now his other knee has come. Now, there's one question here. Where is the ball? It looks like the ball completely disappears here. I believe the ball is about right here, but the speed of how he throws it could depend on how the camera picks it up, which is why I think this breakdown is looked upon by lots of professionals because it leaves some speculation. What happens in the Bron Jame GIF, it can be very different. What you think happens can be very different to what another professional thinks, even, and so that's why I decided to analyze this GIF. So we move on, and no, he does not throw it. He does not throw it like usual, which is very weird. Usually he would throw it, but here you can see the ball is still in his hand after the windup. So he goes up and then he doesn't throw it. Very peculiar, and his knees are still bent a little bit. So we move on, same old, same old. And he comes up here, and we don't know. He's leaning forward to counteract weight because he's not bending his knees. He hasn't spread out his knees. So leaning forward will counteract the weight of his knees being in the same position as they always have been, at least since the second round. So let's see what he does here. He has it about here. It looks like he has it, and he does throw it this time. So last time was just kind of the run to the litter. He does throw it. His arm is coming down here, and he throws it far. He would have to put a lot of spin on this to make it come back to him, which is very weird. Like, why wouldn't he want it to come back to him? We still have this more camera space, which I think is very peculiar, and I'd love to see what happens in the future. But, oh! His leg moves. The ball moves, of course. It's going to keep moving, and it's looking like it's not going to have great spin. If it does, it's going to go like that. It's not actually going to come back at him. With how he was throwing it, there's no way you can get that spin, enough spin to come back at you like how you would need. So maybe this is why he's moving. He realizes, oh, I messed up. I should probably fix this. So what he does next is brilliant. He starts to move. We can see his knee bend, but it bounces and he's like, oh no, I'm not going to be able to catch this. So he moves, and we can see he gets closer, and he still keeps in that formation that he's always been using, but the ball bounces a little too high, but no, he's going to catch it. He keeps moving his legs. His legs are now in an A shape, and his arm is straight up. It's looking like he's going to barely catch it. What is he going to do with the ball? I have no idea. We got to keep moving on. So, keeps moving. Is he going to catch it? He does. He has to jump a little bit. As you can see, he's kind of walking here. But boom. You can see his foot raise a little bit, and he has to lean forward and do a little bit of a jump to grab this ball. And the camera keeps panning. We can see something popping out about right here. I'm not sure what it is, but he has the ball right here, and we keep going. And oh, this looks like it could be a basketball hoop, but he misses the hoop. The Bron Jame misses the hoop, and he keeps the ball with him. So he can't run enough to get the hoop, and he has it here. He keeps having it, but this almost looks like he throws it. I do not believe he throws it, but this looks like he could have very easily lost contact with it about right here, and it flies off screen. So, nothing has happened on the TV as ever, and we can see more of the net. And no, he did not lose it. He still has it, and he is going. He is going to make an impact. And we can see this hoop has a backboard. It's on a wall, and this cranny is actually a corridor. So we continue, and it's looking like he's going to dunk it. It's going in, and boom. We don't actually see when it penetrates the net, but we can see his hand there and what looks like the ball to go through. And boom, he lets go of the net. The net flies up, and he's not even concerned with the ball. He's amazed at what he just did. This is why he's one of the best at what he does. He makes these mistakes, he learns from, he improves. He improves by making this basket right here. And he looks away, and he just walks away. The ball keeps bouncing, he just walks it off.